Okay, this is Jeff Risden, the managing editor here at Lions Wire, and I'm here to give a quick reaction to the Golden Tate trade. It caught me by surprise. It caught a lot of us by surprise. The word last night, in fact, as late as last night when I went to bed, was that Golden Tate was the Lions were getting calls on Tate, but not necessarily looking to shop him. They weren't being aggressive. They were not the people making the calls. They were taking the calls, and I think they were gauging the market to see, what was out there. And I don't think that they intended to deal him unless they got an offer that they believed was worth it. They think that a third round pick from the Eagles this year is worth it. Given that Golden Tate is only going to play 8 games in Philadelphia, he is unsigned. They are not re-signing him. From all indications I've gotten from Philadelphia is that they're not going to re-sign him until after the season, or try to re-sign him after the season. He will be a free agent at the end of the year, so the Lions basically got a third round pick for a rental from Philadelphia. If you're an Eagles fan, I'm not sure how you feel about that. Probably pretty good, but at the same time, that could blow up on you. As far as the Lions and Tate, it says to me that they don't think that they have a viable chance to win with Tate this year. It doesn't mean that they don't think that they can win. He wasn't a big part of the plan in the Seattle game. I thought the Seahawks did a pretty good job of covering him and neutralizing him, and that obviously hurt the rest of the offense. Tells me that they do think that Kenny Golladay is ready to be their number one wide receiver, and that's positive. Tells me that they liked what they saw from Marvin Jones. They remembered he's part of the team, and that he's a viable number two, and I think that's good. The problem is that they don't have a three. T.J. Jones is a good four. I don't think he's a three, he might be better in the slot. I don't think Brandon Powell is the answer. I don't think they think Theo Riddick is the answer in the slot as a receiver, even though I would love to see that happen. I'll be pleasantly surprised if that happens. I'll be shocked, quite honestly, if that happens with Jim Bob Cooter, but we'll see. I don't know. I think this is a bigger psychological blow for Lions fans, quite honestly, than it is on the field. Yes, Tate is fantastic. He's the team's leading receiver. He is the yak king. Nobody's better at breaking tackles. He's a very likable guy, very personal, good leader. Does everything on the field that you want him to. Blocks hard, tries hard, is capable of doing end arounds and stuff like that. But the team wasn't doing all that great with him. They're 3-4 with him. Could they be 3-4 without him? A lot of people will tell you yes. I tend to think no, but is giving up Golden Tate the difference between this team making a playoff and not? Probably not. I mean, they're certainly better with him than without him. Don't misconstrue that at all. I love Golden Tate. I wish they would have kept him, but if you're looking just from a football standpoint, what they had wasn't translating into playoff wins. They're getting an extra third-round pick, and I will say this, and I tweeted this out, and I absolutely believe this. There is a real chance that Golden Tate re-signs with the Detroit Lions this offseason. He wants to be a free agent. The reason why he did not sign an extension is because he wanted to hit free agency and get that open market, let the market set his value, not the team. He did that when he left Seattle, by the way. That's how the Lions got him in the first place. He will absolutely consider coming back to Detroit. I will speak for him on that. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think he knows if that's going to happen yet. But keep that in mind that this is if that happens, then it's an absolute score for Quinn. I don't think that they are that like, oh, we know this is going to happen, because there's too many variables in that. So but keep that in mind. That could happen. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened either. Now what do you do with the offense? You have Kenny Golladay as your number one. Marvin Jones moves up the pecking order back to number 2, and I think he'll be okay there. I think as long as they're protecting Matthew Stafford, I think you're going to see some things. I think they believe that Luke Wilson and Theo Riddick and Michael Roberts can get a little bit more involved in the passing offense. I think that their commitment to running the ball more, although that went out the window against Seattle, that was more of a game-specific situation. I think they feel like they can throw the ball less often and still get the same relative offensive success, being points. And they're probably right on that. I'm not going to fight that point. It's tough, though. The psychological blow of losing Tate here. after you trade for Damon Harrison, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're in it to win it." You know, they can go 3-3. They can go and win this NFC North, and if not, they're in good shape for getting a wild card. And the Seattle loss, that was tough because they got outplayed. The Seattle Seahawks were definitely the better team in every phase of the game, and that's a stark reality check for a lot of us who thought that this team was really moving in the right direction. And trading Tate in the wake of that, it sure looks like they're throwing up their hands and saying, well, you know what, we're not making the playoffs this year. I don't think that they're going to say that, and I'll say personally, I don't think that they believe that that's what they're doing, but that's the message that they've sent to fans, and that's a tough message to digest as a fan, and as somebody who really did think that this team had a chance to be good, especially after adding Snacks. I don't see them making the playoffs now. It's hard to fathom them having the dynamic that Golden Tate brings them, because he does things that other players simply can't do. Breaking tackles, working on the outside. He can play the slot. He is a punt return option, though they didn't tend to use him there. I wish him well. I hope he does great in Philadelphia. I hope he makes the playoffs in Philadelphia. He's a great guy, and he's easy to root for, and I hope that Lions fans don't hold this against him. As far as holding it against the Lions, well, if this team lines up 5-11, 6-10, and those are very realistic outcomes, unfortunately. Today is going to be the day where it looks like they mailed in the 2018 season in favor of getting better in 2019 and 2020. One thing that I did see on Twitter a lot was, how can you justify buying Snacks last week and trading Tate away? Snacks is signed through 2020, and that's a big deal. Using their 5th-round pick next year to get an elite player who's locked up for 2 more years, that is a completely different situation, different dynamic in terms of the front office and on the field and how they'll plan things out. So that probably needs to be considered as more of a long-term play, and in that I still love the move. As far as short-term, well, yeah, he's great right now, but I don't think that they think that it was related to the Tate move, and I think they will come out and say that. And I'll actually believe them on that one. It's frustrating. It's tough. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Hopefully they're not done. Hopefully they bring somebody else in, though who that would be, I don't know. They did just restructure Marvin Jones as well, so now they have about $4 million to spend, if my math is correct, up from about 1.2, so that there's chances there that they could possibly do something. I don't think it's a fire sale. I don't think anybody else is leaving, but then again, I didn't expect Tate to go, so take that for what it is. Thanks, and I'll talk at you again soon.